Good morning. Welcome back to Cover Your Assets. We've got Todd Rooker, Craig Nestor, and Jason Walgrave in studio. Coming up, we've got Matt Grant from Rubicon Mortgage. And 855-835-8500. That's 855-835-8500 to join us. What we did here in the first segment, Todd Rooker, is talk about the Financial Crisis Bible, which is available to everyone at coveryourassets21.com. You laid that out really well. And we're kind of explaining how the other experts here in the room at Cover Your Assets fit in with the main premise, which is financial health and avoiding crisis or whatever. And we explained, Jason, but go back to what we were talking about in the break, because this is really important about Jason's specialty in short sales.
Well, when people come to me, they're trying to determine their options and which direction that they should go. If short sale is the option, and this is part of the problem, everybody out there has this conception, many times attorneys, that short sales just simply don't work and it's just a colossal waste of time, and it is absolutely inaccurate information. We did over 300 of them successfully last year, and there's a reason why we refer our clients to the Walgrave team in the first place, because they really do work and they can succeed, but they have to be done right, and the sooner that you get on it, the better off you're going to be. The profound difference, interesting that we've got a mortgage person in here today, the profound impact between doing a short sale successfully and minimizing the damage to your credit, possibly getting it done without even missing a single payment, as compared with just sitting your rear end in the house, letting it take its course and going to foreclosure, is utterly dramatic in your ability to recover on the other side and be able to purchase a house further down the road. Everybody says, I don't care if I'm a homeowner again. Yeah, well, when it's over, it'll be the first concern you have. Mm-hmm. So the reality is, yeah, you're in a nightmare right now. You can't see past that. Once it's over, you want to know how long it's going to take. The difference could be 1 year where you could qualify for a mortgage in the future as compared with 5 to 7 years with a foreclosure. It is a profound difference, and you can minimize the damage by working with a professional like the Walgrave team.
And Jason, let's just be honest. We have heard horror stories about short sales out there. What's the difference between somebody that can execute these successfully and the ones that you hear the bad stories about?
The number one thing is experience, and do you have a system in place to get these closed? I think the national average, Craig, is right around 35% of short sales.
Yeah, it's less than 1 in 3.
Really?
That's national average. Our team is at over 90% close rate on the short sales that we take. We sit down, we take a look at what the client has, the situation, we go through it, and if we think we can get it done, we'll take on the short sales. So it's about having a plan in place. There's a lot of the reality is most agents out there don't know how to do short sales successfully. They don't have a law firm that's representing the sellers to do the negotiating on their behalf, and it just doesn't get done. So it's systems and having a plan and having experience to do it.
And you've got two interesting perspectives on the business, and this will come into play when we bring in Matt Grant from Rubicon Mortgage here. But the other person that you help, we're talking about the distressed person, but you also are tied into major REO, real estate-owned, bank-owned property, and you work with investors too.
Yeah, I do. I work with investors and homeowners and buyers as well. An example of one I took a look at this week. This is a home in south of the river, 5,000 square foot, 2006 built home, 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, sold for almost $700,000 back in 2006. This home is on the market right now as a short sale for $419,000. You can probably go in, write an offer for $375,000, maybe pick it up for $400,000. You want to talk about opportunity out there, not just for investors, but for homeowners. The opportunity has never been greater.
Absolutely, especially if you're in a position where you don't have something to sell at this point in time. Now, Craig Nestor, and you are in a different perspective again, yet on this whole financial crisis scenario. Tell us about your Cover Your Assets expertise.
Well, when Todd speaks about the person that's doing everything they can to be preventative, some people are already in the foxhole taking live fire, and they need some help. The bullets are coming in all around, and they really need some expertise in how to break down loan modification. I mean, what's free? What's not free? How does this work for me? Is the government going to help? Short sales, deed in lieu, bankruptcy. All these terms are now very relevant to someone that's under fire. And that's kind of what we bring as a unit, is to get around this family, go through all their options from the beginning to the end. Mm-hmm. And we want to put them in a position where they can take advantage of that home south of the river, where there's a couple $100,000 worth of equity in it. So really, this conversation is about the fall and rise again of the American homeowner. Mm-hmm. Hey, look, you are in a tough spot. Let's figure out how we can get you to a place where you can lick your wounds, land softly, and rebuild and come back and fight as soon as possible.
Well, funny you should mention that, because I got the pleasure this past week of talking to somebody that you walked through that very thing. Let's go ahead and hear from Scott.
Scott, tell us what city you're from.
I live in Bloomington.
Okay. And which one of our Cover Your Assets experts have you worked with?
Well, I actually worked with Craig Nestor and his company and had a very positive experience. And I wanted to call in and basically thank him and maybe share it with some of the listeners on here also.
Excellent. Please tell us the details of your story and how Craig helped you.
Well, I pretty much I was in a job where I lost about 40% of my income, was laid off. I had about $50,000 in my 401k that I had to burn through just to continue to make payments and make ends meet. And when I came to Craig, it was the last option I had before either losing my house and kind of giving up and renting somewhere or being able to keep my house. And what Craig was able to do was provide some hope. And I think that was the most important thing for me, was knowing that I was going to actually get through the situation, that other people had been in my position, and provide me an opportunity to either keep my house and walk me through the steps to do that, or to find somewhere else and get some offers on my place. I was upside down on my mortgage payments. I had an interest rate that was close to 6.5%, and I wasn't making any progress. I was in one of those interest-only loans, nowhere to go. It was walk away from the house or hire somebody to help me fix the problem. And what ended up happening was, today I can say that I'm in a house that I'm married with 2 kids. I plan to stay in for the next 20 to 30 years, and I was given an opportunity to do that because I went and found somebody that knew how to navigate through in my life, what was a crisis. What ended up happening was we negotiated with the lender and worked out a payment where today my mortgage payment is $800 less than what it was almost 24 months ago. And I am in an interest rate that is fixed for the next 5 years.
This process was quite a lengthy one for you.
Correct.
How long did it take?
It took 17 months to get my lender to accept.
Thank you so much for taking some time to share your experience with Craig.
Sure. I would recommend anyone who's upside down in their mortgage, on their last leg, they've run out of options of people to contact. They've asked friends and family to borrow money, and they need somebody that can give them some real answers and real advice. And that was where I was almost 2 years ago, and I can honestly say that I'm in a much, much better position because I leaned out to somebody that knew how to navigate through the crisis.
Scott, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
What a fantastic story, Craig. One question that I have on that is he talks about the process 17 months. Now, I'm assuming that's when he began the process on his own. What was the time frame of when you took over and to help him?
Actually, it was 17 months.
Was.
Scott came to me, and he was a little bit behind in his mortgage payment, and 17 months later, we came through the other side. During that 17-month period, Scott did not make a mortgage payment, and his home was never threatened under a sheriff's sale. We received 4 denials from the same lender, and we went back for the 5th time, and we wore him down.
You got it
and
done.
That's really part of it. And the nice thing about Scott, though, he does all the right things during this break. He saved some money during this break. He got a new job during this break. They turned their home into a daycare center during this time. They followed the plan from the beginning to the end, and they followed the instructions in the guidebook. And here's how it turns out. He's now, 17 months later, coming through the other side. Family's got a daycare business. He's got a new job. Their mortgage payment's $800 a month less. It works. You just got to stick with the plan, right, Jason?
Absolutely.
I think it's really interesting, too, because, in all that time, if you're that person who's under that pressure and that stress, it's really hard to keep going back time and time again. So your advocacy must have been a godsend to him.
I didn't tell him.
This is also why you need a strategic plan in all of this. That's why when I talk to people about budgeting in a financial crisis, they'll look at me with perplexity, and they'll say, well, I'm losing my house. Don't you understand this? And I say, well, look, you haven't made a mortgage payment in an entire year. You want desperately a loan modification, which presumes that you could sustain a payment at a lesser rate. How much money have you saved? Well, they've saved nothing. So, when they need to go to an attorney, go to Craig and actually seek legal help or some type of leverage to get the lender to comply with what they're looking for, it is going to cost them some money. But look, man, you're not making mortgage payments, and it's ultimately going to cost you less money than even if you had a mortgage payment that was modified. So you better be managing your money so that you can seek the professionals who can actually help you.
And a lot of people don't realize that during that time, they feel so bad about where they are. They don't realize that they can be using that time, Craig, constructively.
You take away the erosion of home equity through plummeting home values, a recessionary job market, too big to fail bailouts, weakness in the dollar, no access to credit. It's a perfect storm. It leaves the individual family isolated, unprotected, and facing financial ruin. Homeowners are just trying to make their payment. They're trying to do everything they can to stay in their home. And for those people, we have cutting-edge strategies that provide homeowners proven real-world results.
CoverYourAssets21.com is where you can go to really read about the guys more in depth. You can download the Financial Crisis Bible, which is a huge, huge help to anyone, no matter where on the prosperity triangle, which we are going to be talking about coming up, you fall. CoverYourAssets21.com. Also, to join the experts today, it's 855-835-8500. That's 835-8500. Now, we're going to go to a break here real quick, but Jason Walgrave, Todd Rooker, and Craig Nestor. Coming up, we've got Matt Grant from Rubicon Mortgage. What are we going to talk about?
How to qualify for financing and how to buy houses in this distressed economy.
Jason, you know a little bit about that, don't you?
A little bit.
This is Cover Your Assets, 855-835-8500. We'll be right back.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be.
AM 1280, The Patriot.
Is it possible to buy real estate in your IRA or 401k? Absolutely. Hi, I'm Todd Grill, president of Entrust Midwest. We are the leading third-party administrator for self-directed IRAs and 401ks in the upper Midwest. We provide the record-keeping, administration, and government reporting to allow you to use your retirement funds for non-standard investments. If you believe in complete retirement investment diversification and are looking for another source of capital to fund investments, then you should be taking advantage of this powerful retirement concept. Grow your retirement dollars in investments that you have control over, such as real estate, businesses, precious metals, and a host of other investment opportunities. We offer Roth and traditional IRAs, health savings accounts, Coverdell education IRAs, and the new Roth 401k. Visit us at entrustmidwest.com. That's ENTRUST Midwest.com. Or call for a private consultation, 763-559-5363. That's 763-559-5363. Entrust Midwest.
This summer has brought Minnesota and our nation to a critical decision point. In St. Paul, Governor Dayton and legislative Republicans are locked in a struggle over the governor's plan for double-digit growth in state spending, stadium taxes, photo ID, and reforms to overhaul our public schools. In Washington, President Obama continues to preside over the worst economy since the Great Depression. Battles between Republicans and Obama over the debt ceiling, Libya, and the economy loom. Follow these issues locally and nationally from a conservative perspective. Visit theminnesotawatchdog.com. theminnesotawatchdog.com.
Hi, this is Dave Centrella, president of the radio division here at Salem Communications, the parent company of this radio station, and I'm very excited about the future of our company. Are you in a management position for another radio or media company, but find yourself listening to and resonating with what you're hearing through this Salem station? Do you want to use your energy and talent to promote media that is not part of the problem, but rather part of the solution to the many challenges facing individuals and families in our country today? If you'd like your daily labors to better match and complement the values of your life, once you get in contact with Salem, we'd like to meet and partner with the right people, talented media professionals who know the growing impact of media in the lives of Americans. Let's get acquainted. Maybe Salem can be a part of your career, not just a part of your commute.
To learn more about Salem and potential career opportunities, contact us today at 855-809-8965. That's 855-809-8965. Salem Communications is an equal opportunity employer.
Most companies advertise to generate interest. At Rubicon Mortgage Advisors, they care about your best interest. They help you make life's big moves with the most comprehensive finance solutions that extend far beyond your current needs. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned real estate investor, you can expect unequaled personal service and a lifelong friendship. Visit RubiconMortgageAdvisors.com to learn more about their locally based luxury service experience. That's RubiconMortgageAdvisors.com. Equal Opportunity Lender, NMLS number 275483.